everyone. Welcome back to our Designing an Attitude of Gratitude live stream here from the InLearning Partnership. I'm Lena Darnay with Keep Indiana Learning, and I'm super excited for our next guest, Chris Young from Southern Hancock Schools, also a Keep Indiana Learning digital learning coach and a heck of a human. Really glad to have him sharing some thankful tech tips. But before that, he also has a turkey tip for us on where to get the best turkey in Indiana. Chris, tell us what we need to do.
Yeah, so the Odin Meat Locker, it's in Odin, Indiana, and it's like a butcher shop. They have marinated turkey that is like, you just grill it. So you spend all that time on that turkey. The best turkey you can have is the marinated turkey at Odin Meat Locker. Shout out to Chad Ladoon for putting me onto that, but we call it meat candy. It is like the best thing you'll ever put in your mouth. It's delicious.
Well, that's it. So everybody write that down. You heard it here first. Odin Meat Locker. I love it. Now, Chris, I'm super excited for these tech tips. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take over, friend.
All right. So if anybody's watching this video, which I assume they are, you're going to want this presentation. And so I've got this presentation for you went the wrong way on the presentation, at my website. So if you go to bit.ly/Chris Presents, I've got links and a bunch of different things that you can click on that are like templates and awesome stuff that's ready to use. As well, if you're on social media, my Twitter is @ChrisYoungEDU. Feel free to give me a shout out, follow me, I'll follow you back, and we'll connect on there. So bit.ly/Chris Presents. And if you go to, if you go to the website, you'll want to click session resources. And the very first thing there is tech tips I'm thankful for. They gave me a tongue twister. So that will do that. So we have short time, about 30 minutes, where I'll be sharing some tech tips. Some of my favorite things. I'll be sharing things I'm thankful for. And it should be a good time. So a little bit about me. I'm the Strategic Learning Coordinator for Southern Hancock Schools in New Pal. I'm a former science teacher. I'm the president-elect for Indiana Connected Educators. I'm a Keep Indiana Learning digital coach, Google Certified Innovator, Google Certified Trainer, Apple Certified Teacher. I love sneakers. I collect sneakers, and last month I completed an Ironman triathlon. So it's a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and 26.2-mile run. And so now I can have that cool thing, Ironman, at the bottom. So with that being said, I'm going to throw a lot at you really quick, and I hope it's engaging and you get some great things that you can take and put into your classroom. So my first tech tip that I'm very, very thankful for is this little tip to curate content. And I'm going to show a tip in YouTube, and I'm going to show a tip in Google. And so for YouTube, I don't know about you, but I've spent lots and lots and lots of hours looking for good videos to use with my classes in YouTube. And oftentimes, I'll always find great stuff there, but I'll also find stuff that I thought was great, and I watched it for 2 minutes and I'm like, ugh, that video was no good. So how do I not spend my entire life just searching YouTube for videos and trying to decide what's good and what's not? And so I'm going to show you this little filtering trick that will literally be a little dramatic, but it'll literally allow you to get all your content in like 30 seconds. So check this out. I said I was a science teacher. If I search mitosis, there's going to be hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of videos related to mitosis. And some of them are going to be really good, and some of them are not going to be really good. If you dug deep enough, you could even find former projects that my students have done and submitted to YouTube. They're on there. And so you have to filter through a lot of stuff to find the really high quality material. So I'm going to show you a trick to bring the high quality stuff right to the surface so it's easy to find it. And that is using filters. So if you click this button here, if you go filters, anybody can create and upload a video on whatever topic that you teach, and probably people do. That doesn't mean it's good and that you want it. There are people, though, that create playlists. And a playlist is basically just like a grouping of videos related to a topic. So now rather than searching for mitosis videos, I'm searching for mitosis playlist. And the thing is my students, even though like I said that they created mitosis videos, they didn't love mitosis enough to create playlists about it. And the people that do love mitosis enough to create playlists about it are probably teachers just like you. And so if you find a playlist that's really good, so like, and I'm even looking at the username, K McKinley SHS. So I'm going to click on this mitosis playlist. And she's found 28 videos that she likes, or he, related to mitosis. So I click and I watch this one. Like, it's great. I watch this one. It's great. And so I'm like, this playlist is really awesome. Once you find a really awesome playlist, then what you need to do is click on the person that created the playlist. So I'm going to click on this person here.
And check this out. Cool, huh?
And I'm going to view their playlist. And if they teach one subject that you teach, chances are they teach a lot of other subjects that you teach. And so whether you're a biology teacher or a science teacher, you can see there are topics and playlists related to cells and scientific method and genetics, anatomy. So, you know, if you are a science teacher, you probably are seeing, and this was just a random person. Like, I've never clicked on this person's playlist, but this every single time happens, DNA, that you will be able to find. And so all you have to do is find one user's great playlist, and then you click on that user and you've probably found your entire year's curriculum. So super big time saver, allows you to find a lot of really great content for your course. Another tip and tool that I love is and I've got it in the presentation, I said, is advanced Google searches. So I'm going to show you how to do an advanced Google search. Go to Google, and I'm going to search, let's do that same topic, mitosis. And in Google, like with sharing settings, you can share and you can change it. Anyone on the internet can view, and you can make things public on the web that anybody can find them. And you've got all these different options. But if you make something public, how do people find it? Because I've never found anybody's Google Doc or their Google presentation by doing a Google search. I'm going to show you how to change that. So I go ahead and I do my search. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here where it's the gear for settings. And I said it's called an advanced search. So I did my search, I click on the gear, and I click advanced search. And check this out. When you go site or domain, I'm going to type in docs.google.com, or I could type in slides.google.com. And I click advanced search. And here are Google Docs related to mitosis, mitosis nodes, mitosis versus meiosis. And so like I can click and view these. And what is a little awesome tip is you can click images and you can see what these docs kind of look like. And you could be like, oh, this one's really great and interesting, and I think I could use this for my class. Or here's this PowerPoint presentation that I could use. When I show this little tip and trick, a lot of times people will ask, like, well, what about copyright? Well, if it is searchable, that means the person who created it said it was public on the web, which means they've given you permission to use it. But that does not mean the person that created it followed copyright. So you'll want to check just to make sure that the presentation looks good and free of copyright issues, but they have given permission for you to use it based on how they've shared it. And so that little Google tip is another really, really great way to find content and things that you can use for your class that without these little tips would have been much harder because you'd have to filter through a lot more. So I love that as just a quick, easy way to find content. Since we're talking about Google, my second, and I've got this linked here because you can see where it says click here. My second tip that I'm going to share is to show you how to create a custom version of Google that will only search the sites that you allow it to. Because if a student, let's say I was like, we're going to do a research project. If they were to go to Google and do, they would find like sources that like I don't even know how they found it, but that are probably unreliable. And so if I want to scaffold them and build them up to decide to search for high quality sources, I can create a custom version of Google that's only going to have those high quality sources. So check how this works. It's really awesome. So I've got it linked here. So you click here on the presentation, and it says edit search engine. So you can see I've got a bunch of search engines that I've created, a bunch of custom versions of Google. So here I'm going to create a new one just to show how easy it is. And so I'm going to tell it sites I want it to search. So I'm just going to put news sites, www.IndyStart. That is a site I'm going to allow my Google to search. CNN, we'll balance it out. Fox News. And we'll go with our local paper here, greenfieldreporter.com. And I could keep adding websites to it. I don't know what the max is. I've done up to 50 before. I assume there's a max, but it allowed me to do 50 different websites. So then I name it, and I'm going to call this Gratitude Project. I tell it I'm not a robot. And then all I do is click the create button. I've got a custom version of Google now that only searches those sites that I just typed in. So how do I give that to kids? There's a couple ways. One is I can get an embed code. So if you're using something like Canvas, you can embed it directly onto your page. Or the easiest way is you just click public URL. And so if I were to share this website with you, you have a custom version of Google that all it has is a search bar. And so if I type in puppies, it is going to search for puppies, and you can see there's CNN, Fox News, CNN. And so I've got pages of results, but on these pages of results, they're only the sites that I have told it to. So that is a really cool way to sort of build kids up to search for good content. Okay, my third tip that I'm going to show you is linking slides. And just doing this can really change how students can do presentations. And I'll kind of show you what I mean by clicking on it. So I'm going to click where it says click here. And so typically, and this is your own copy that you can have and use for your class, but typically slides are linear. I'm on slide 1, and actually on this, like I'm on slide 3, and then I click over, I'm slide 6, and now I'm on slide 7, and now I'm on slide 8, and it goes in order. With that little trick that I just showed here, what it allows me to do is control, based on where you click on the slide, what slide it goes to. So check this out. And I love, kids absolutely love this project. And rather than have them do a research presentation, I tell them they're going to create apps. And so you can see here, I've got my cheetah app, I've got my elephant app, and I've got this camel app. And if I want, I could create, you can see camels live in the desert, camels have humps. New slide, I'm going to duplicate that slide, and let's choose a different animal. And so I'm going to choose, I said puppies earlier. It is loading super duper slow. There we go. And so I'm going to change the word camel to puppies. And what the students do is they come in here and they will create their apps. And so to get an app in, just like this, the little app, they need an app icon. So I need a puppy app icon. So I go insert, image, search the web, and I'm going to search for puppies. Puppies. And I find an adorable picture of a puppy. Done, the very first one. And I want it to look like an app. So it needs to be a square. It also needs to be way smaller. And so it's squarish now. So before I make it smaller, the first thing I got to do, because an app isn't a square, it is like rounded. So what you do, I always say Google's smallest buttons hold the coolest things. So right here is the cropping button. Right next to it is this itsy bitsy tiny triangle. I click on that. I go to shapes. My second choice is a rounded edges square. So like kids love this. So if I wanted to make like, oh, a heart, I could change that picture to be whatever shape I want it to be. But this second option is, and so now look, it looks like an app. So I scroll, the kid comes in, they make their app because they've changed the shape, and now all they have to do is link it. So like slide 5 is my puppy slide, and it says camels, but we will say our adorable, our baby dogs. All right, real hard-hitting stuff here. So we want to make this work like an iPad and like an app. So what you do is you click on it, and you click the link button, which is right here. And I click slides in this presentation. My puppy slide is slide 5. So now when someone clicks on this image, it will go to slide 5. So I click present, and I click on the puppy. And rather than going to slide 2, it will take me to slide 5, which is puppy. So it's acting like an iPad. The only other sort of little thing that we need to do here is I like to put a circle, because we want to go back home. I put a circle over the home button, and then I link that to slide 1, and I do that on every slide. So like the camel, I would copy this circle that I have here that's linked to slide 1, paste this on the camel slide. And so now this would be a fully functioning iPad if I'd create all these different links. Elephant, slide 2, or that would be slide 3. Slide 3, and boom. So I go present, and now it's going to work like an iPad. I click on puppies, it goes to my puppy app. I click on the home button, I'm back home. I click on the elephant, I'm at the elephant. And so super awesome. You've got this presentation. Feel free to use it. Students absolutely love doing it. And so one of the things, so those are all like sort of my tips. And I wanted to share, like this is the attitude of gratitude, and with Thanksgiving, like things that I'm thankful for. I'm absolutely passionate about educational technology and making learning better and more accessible and more engaging for students. And I wouldn't be where I am today if not for a bunch of people that have influenced me. And this is only 30 minutes, and so I'm struggling to get through it with the people that I have named. But there's a bunch of other people that I could name. But we just had heck and saw a bunch of friends that I haven't seen in quite a while in person. For the first time in a long time. It was good. And so these are some tech tips that I've gotten from people that I surround myself with and better myself from. And I want to share some things that I've learned from them. And so I will just kind of go in order. And so the first is Kyle. And this is such a simple tip. Let me get out of the presentation to actually show this. But Kyle was presenting on math to our teachers, and he showed this simple, super simple little tip that I was like, that is incredible, and I don't know why I have never used it. So Kyle was talking about giving a presentation, assigning each student a slide. So like Johnny would be slide 1 in this presentation. Sally would be slide 2. And they were identical slides, and they would all be working on them at the same time. And he showed how you could watch the students work in real time. And that is just simply switching your slides view to something called grid view. And let me show you what that does. It's so simple. Click view. And all I do is click grid view and watch how it changes the presentation. So imagine every kid was working on a slide. And I can even control like zooming in and zooming out. But as they're working, I can see each kid in real time in what they're doing. And so like it allows me like, oh, slide 6, Susie's not doing what she's supposed to do. Like I can click and I can go and work with Susie on it. The nice thing about this too, like with virtual learning, is the students don't necessarily have to be in your classroom. They could be even at home working on this, and you could interact and collaborate, and just a really cool way to see your students work in real time. Literally, I keep saying that word. You switch to grid view. And if you want to take grid view off to go to that traditional view, you just unclick it. And that's that little tip. Next one, Marcus. This is something, this GIF makes me laugh, called slow reveal slides. And it is a template for a classroom game. What you have to do is change the background to whatever it is you want kids to guess. So I'm going to click it and I'm going to show you how it will work. Love this. Students love this as well. And you could even like make this a video or a GIF and upload it into your Kahoot or quizzes or whatever, to even like put scoring with it. But this is essentially a game, a reveal game. It is loading really slowly, but it is loading. And what happens is he's put basically different shapes over the background. And so the shapes have animations that will make them disappear. And so slowly one part of the screen will disappear and disappear and disappear until it reveals the picture. And so students can then try to guess and compete as to what is in the background. So it could be a math problem that you've hidden in the background. It could be a famous person. It could be something that you've read about. So all I have to do, let's say I wanted to change this background and I want to reveal, let's say choose image. And so let's do a slow reveal of, and you can upload your own pictures, but I'm just going to do an image search of Bruno Mars. And so I do Google image search, type Bruno Mars, and I got the picture in there. And so from here, when I go into that presentation mode, man, my thing is being super slow. So I get the image in that I want. I click on the slide. I click present. And as soon as I click present, you've got this template. You can, it's already built for you. It will load up the presentation. And I'm touching nothing. You will see the shapes just start to disappear and the image will start to slowly reveal itself. And eventually students will be able to guess, like, that is, you probably can't tell at this point. Maybe you're starting to be able to, but Bruno Mars, or maybe it's count up this, or, some sort of mystery that you're hiding behind the thing. And slowly they reveal themselves. And the nice thing about that is he's created a whole bunch of these different ones that you can use. And so there's at least 5 or 6 different, and they all reveal themselves in different orders. And so again, all you do, right click, change the background. You can upload your own image. You can do a Google search, and it is ready to rock and roll for you. So that is super.
Gosh, thanks, Chris. This has really been so amazing to have you sharing these tips. We are quickly running out of time, but that doesn't mean we're running out of amazing tips to share. So I'm hopeful that you will come back again, share these again, put these on Keep Indiana Learning for the lab to pull from and for all of our visitors to enjoy.
Absolutely.
All right. We're really excited.
No problem.
There's some really great comments about people thinking, gosh, I was really tech savvy, but I'm learning new cool things. And they're very thankful for, we always love to find new things that we're doing that we could just enhance a little bit more in our technology usage. So thank you so much.
No problem. And one thing I want to add for those that stick around, Derek is the next presenter, and I connected with him at the Google Innovator. He's an incredible human. So you will learn so much and just all he has to offer. So I would just want to tell everybody, go check Derek out after this. You will not be disappointed. He is an incredible person. So
yes, highly agree. And so are you. So we both all met a cool person. So that's outstanding. Thanks, Chris. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.